All right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be installing the Marquet stainless steel hidden hinges on the step side bed for Clydes Squarebody. Jimmy and I are going to be knocking this out. I'm going to show you guys the detailed instructions and what you guys should do. Obviously we're already on the second page of this, but the first step, guys, is going to tell you to assemble the bed, make sure it's square. Check your gapping down the side, your gapping front to back, all of that stuff. Those are your first two instructions, is check your gapping and square the bed up. So the second step is where I'll have Jimmy come in and help me with this, and it's going to be to remove the tailgate and the trunnions from the bedside. That way we can use our template to mark our hole that's going to go on the actual sill of the bed. So I'm going to move the table out of the way. Jimmy and I are going to get the tailgate off, and then I'll be right back to you guys.
There you go. Tip the other one.
Oh, you get that one?
No.
All right, guys, so now that your tailgate's out of the way, the trunnions, obviously, you guys, these are a 5/8 bolt. So you get a 5/8 socket, pull them right out. They pop right out of the side of the tailgate, and just put them up on the table because we'll be back to these in a while. All right, guys, so now that we've got the tailgate off, Jimmy's gonna go ahead, put the nut and bolt in for the trunnion. And then at the very top of the template that they send you is a hole that we need to mark out, and we'll go ahead and drill that hole out. And that's gonna provide us for the actual bolts. I'll pull them out for you so you guys can see. These are what need to go inside, guys. I'll pull it close. This is what's gonna actually swing the hinge from the top point. So right now we're drilling for the nut and bolt to go through this. So guys, once you've got it marked, go ahead and take, if you guys have a chisel or a punch, I have a spring-loaded punch. I'm gonna go ahead and put that right on the circle that we just marked, and go ahead and get the center point so that way we can drill it. All right, so the directions say after you've marked your holes, go ahead and punch them, and then you're going to use a 5/16 drill bit to drill through the bedside, guys. So we got our benchmark abrasive drill bits here. We're going to go ahead and drill them. What size is that?
That's just 8/6.
guys, so now that Jimmy has drilled the holes, we'll go ahead and get our bolts out. Correct ones. It goes,
Yeah, inside out.
that doesn't look like it's written. Maybe it is. Okay. Just put this up in first. That's the wrong washer. Alright guys, so instead of those big washers, you guys are actually going to use these stainless steel washers. That's what's going to go behind the pivot pin. Alright guys, so now that those the fixed pivot pins are mounted to the bed, from there we'll go ahead and use the tailgate. We'll get the tailgate up on the table. I'll pull the table over here for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and mark out on our template where we need to cut so that these hinges can fit inside of the tailgate when the tailgate's closed. So guys, like I said, we're already kind of a couple steps ahead. I went ahead and sanded down this area so we have a clean spot to where our template needs to be marked. I already had some issues with the spot welds on this side, so it's kind of a good thing that we're cutting this all off. But you may end up running into cutting out some of your spot welds on your tailgates, depending on where they're spot welded at. So that's one thing to pay attention to. You may need to do a little fixing after the fact. So, now with the tailgate, so in step number 6, guys, it says this step and the next 2 steps prepare the tailgate for the linkage by cutting away part of the tailgate end so the linkage can fold into the tailgate end when the tailgate is closed. The area to be cut away is on the front edge of the tailgate end toward the cab on each end. Mark the area to be removed as shown in the photo using the template as a guide. Align the template to the outer edge of the tailgate end and skin so the lower end of the cutout area begins 3 11/16 inch up from the bottom of the tailgate and goes up to 14 15/16 from the bottom of the tailgate. Guys, so basically what they're getting at is we'll take our first measurement from down here up to 3 11/16, and then provided this piece is the correct length, will then end at 14 15/16 from the bottom to the top. So we'll go ahead and get the tape measure out, get that all measured, and so we know exactly where this piece needs to go. and then we'll go ahead and get to cutting and marking. All right, so now that I've got my marking, guys, just so you guys understand, the template from the very edge to this very first piece is actually marked at 3 11/16. So what you'll do is you'll just put this up with the edge of the tailgate, nice and flushed out. Go ahead and flush the bottom, and then you'll go ahead and flush the back, just like how we have it. From there, you'll hold it down, and you can mark your area. All right, now that that side's marked, Jimmy can go ahead and cut that while I mark this other side. And we'll flip over to this side. All right, guys, so I'll get you off the stand here. This is the first cut, and this is what it should look like. There's just a little area here that has a recess that we need to go ahead and grind out. So Jimmy's gonna work on that. And then, so you have an idea of what it does look like, it should be marked something similar to that, you guys. Like I said, you know, there's some spot welds. There's a spot weld there, there. One over here, one right here. So you got a couple of spot welds that are gonna go away. I think what our plan is we'll go ahead and cut this, and then we'll go ahead and weld up the seam so that way it's nice and clean. But Jimmy's gonna go ahead and finish up that section, and then we'll get on to the other side. All right, guys, so now you guys can see this cleared up area that we got right in there. Jimmy's gonna go ahead and do that to the other side, and then we'll be ready to start on the next step. You can flip it around if you need. Flip it around.
Oh, that's all right.
I don't want you grinding next to the hinges. All right, guys, so while Jimmy's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and file the edge that he just cut out just because it's a little bit rounded rather than square. Hey, well, change the tip out. That's rough. Change it to a smaller tip. All right, guys, so right now I'm just cleaning up the edge right here. Get it a little bit more square. It's a little bit rounder than I'd like. So guys, the reason I'm cleaning this area up right here is because when the tailgate's actually down, you're going to visibly see this. So I want to make sure that it looks good. All right, guys, so now that we've cut and cleaned up the edge that that the hidden hinges need to go into, the next step would be if the area is messed up, then it would ask you to go ahead and put some spot welds in there, but it actually looks like we left pretty good, pretty solid. So we still may end up welding this, but this may be a future thing. Now, the next step number 9, guys, is to reinstall the tailgate, aligning it as in step number 2. And then from there, step number 10 will be opening the tailgate and putting it in a horizontal position. So basically a 90 off of the sills and then, the tailgate being at 90. And then from there, guys, we'll go ahead and clamp our hidden hinges to the tailgate, guys. So that's what we're going to work on right now. I got Jimmy taping up the hinges, wrong clamps with the flat ends, the C clamps.
Oh, C-clamp.
The adjustable vice clamps. So he's going to grab the right clamps, and then we'll go ahead and put some tape on the ends of these guys. So that way we're not messing up the edges of the stainless polished hinges. All right, guys. So now we're gonna get the tailgate back on. I went ahead and put the hidden links up so they're out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and put this in nice and gentle. All right. Now, can you hang on to the tailgate and I'll grab our clamps? Okay. Where'd you put them?
It should be right. I'm gonna grab that little level.
Yeah.
I'll just hold it.
All right.
They're in the bubble.
You still in the bubble?
Yeah, we're still in the bubble.
Okay. Go ahead and set yours up. Okay. So.
Yeah, it's good. It sits on that little lip, yeah.
What?
There's like that little reinforcement plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sits right on that.
Yep.
That lip.
It's a little bit low.
All my shit wants to keep sliding. Once I put the weight.
That's it right there.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I'm marked. All right, guys. So I know it's a little hard to see from where you guys are at, but now we've got our link bar set. The tailgate is level, and we went ahead and marked our holes. If these were getting painted, we would probably drill through the holes. But since these are a finished product, we're going to go ahead and pull the links back off, and we'll support the tailgate, and then we'll just drill our holes that way. So. Okay, hold the tailgate, just pop that back up. Okay. All right, now. All right. Can you get that? All right, guys, so let me get you moved around a little better. Right now, Jimmy is center punching the holes that we're about to drill that we just marked out. And then from there, guys, so right now you guys should be at step number 12 or step number 13. Step number 12 is clamping the brackets on. Step number 13 is using a 1/4-inch drill to drill through the holes of the pivot bracket. Obviously, with these being stainless, we're not going to drill through the holes on the bracket because I don't want to damage them. So that's where we're at right now, guys. Step 13. So Jimmy's going to pre-drill the hole, and then he's going to go back and drill it with a 1/4-inch drill bit. And then from there, we'll go ahead and assemble the links, and then that should be a wrap on the project, guys. All right, guys. So now that we are on step 13, the holes are drilled. From there, guys, we're going to go ahead and go to okay. Now we'll go to step number 15. Step 14 says to just clean it up if you made a little bit of a mess with the holes, but the holes are nice and clean. Step 15 is install the link assembly on each end of the tailgate. Use the 1/4 head button screws through the holes drilled in step 14 above to attach the pivot brackets to the tailgate ends. Tighten the screws. So we have hardware inside and outside, so we'll go ahead and get those put on there. And then we should have a perpendicular tailgate that sits nice. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this passenger side, guys. I've got my 2 button head screws and my 2 nylock jam nuts. Yeah. All right, guys. Now we're nice and tight. Let's see how she looks. What are you touching on?
Yeah, we gotta do some more clearance. The initial big cut's gotta go down further.
It's hitting the what?
Where we trimmed it out, that's gotta get lifted up longer. So here.
Okay.
This guy, where it folds.
All right. So, guys, the template was just a little bit short. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clearance the bottom edges of the template just a little bit more to get that extra clearance because our links are not fitting quite in there right, guys. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. All right, guys. So after a little bit of adjustments, we got everything dialed in. We had just a little bit of area where this side was different than this side as far as the measurement from the back all the way up to where that hinge mounts. So we got that fixed and now it closes up perfect. One little thing we need to do is on these brothers hinges, they're just rubbing the very inside right here. So we took them apart. We're gonna cut these down and then clean it all up, put the spring back in there, put the pin back in there, and it'll be good to go. But here is how it closes. Nice and clean, guys. Everything's good. Everything is hidden, just like it should be. You can't see the hinges from the back. This thing is dialed, guys. So here's this side as well. So you can see there's a little bit of rub up in here. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and work on fixing, and it'll be perfect. All right, guys, so that was a quick installation video on how to do the Marquet stainless steel hidden links for your 54 to 87 step side bed. The kit comes with all of your hardware, both links for each side, and your template. Comes in a cool package, comes with the instructions. Instructions are pretty easy to read. I feel like I gave you guys a quick little breakdown of the instructions, a little more simplified. And yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. It's another option I'm not sure a lot of you guys know about, but it beats the old school chains, which tend to rub paint, scratch paint. You've got to add a bunch of additional pieces like some tubing over the chains to get them to not scratch. It's just a whole lot of nightmare. That's Jimmy. But yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. I'll include a part number to these Marquet hinges so that way you guys can get a pair, and hopefully everything works out for you guys. Enjoy, guys.